What's up, everybody? Derek Anderson, the DA. And the funny thing about this WGA strike, the writer's strike that's going on right now on day like 126 or something like that, it's well over the last strike, all right? The last strike lasted 100 days. We're well past that number, all right? We're setting new records. But what's funny about it is you could see the outcome coming a mile away. You knew exactly how this thing was going to end based on the fact, like Bill Maher is saying here, that the WGA has no leverage against the streamers, that they went on strike at the wrong time. He also says you're not owed a living as a writer, which is also very true. Again, I've made all three of these points at various times throughout this entire strike. As a matter of fact, I want to say I said these two straight off the bat, like in my very first strike video like 4 months ago. I said you got to have leverage and you got to do it at the right time. If you don't have either on your side, and you should have both, to be honest with you. But if you don't have either on your side, it's an uphill climb, especially when you're going up against mega powerful corporations like Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Warner Brothers, Disney, you name it, okay? You going up against those dudes, man, you better have leverage and timing in your back pocket. So that was always going to be a losing proposition. There's no way they're going to win this. And the other point, the point that I think all of these guys on strike, the WGA specifically has missed, is they're coming into this negotiation not understanding their opponent at all. They don't understand what's important to their opponent. It's like this quote from Sun Tzu. You guys know this quote from Sun Tzu. If you know the enemy and you know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles, okay? Because you already know how the battle is going to come out. You actually know the outcome. You can see it ahead of time. You know what's going on with your enemy, with your opponent. And so the question that the strikers, the writers, the WGA should have been asking is, what is it that the studios are trying to get out of this? What are they attempting to do? What is it that they want? And it kind of brings you to this headline on Deadline. Warner Brothers Discovery sees earnings hit from strikes of up to $500 million this year, right? Yeah, everybody saw this. This came out today, right? They're saying the financial impact of ongoing actors and writers strikes has a number on it now, or one at least, as Warner Brothers Discovery said today, it's looking at a hit of $300 million to $500 million in adjusted EBITDA, which is earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization for 2023 due to the work stoppages. And man, all of Twitter was out there high-fiving like, yeah, that's right, baby. Everybody out there chest bumping, pumping their fists. Yeah, that's right. That's what y'all get, Warner Brothers Discovery. Y'all should have negotiated. Y'all should have gave the writers and actors a fair deal. Now y'all losing $500 million. That's what everybody was coming out there saying, right? Yeah, you even got Discussing Film tweeting out. Warner Brothers Discovery says they'll take a hit of $300 to $500 million to their 2023 earnings because they refuse to make a fair deal with actors and writers, right? Everybody came in there chopping it up, ha 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 ha, laughing, right? Even this person kind of added to it. If only it cost them a fraction of that loss to fix the writer's side of the strike and get things back in action. Oh, wait. All right. And then they showed this post here. Now, this is the cost of the WGA proposal, what it would cost for each studio. All right. All of these studios, Disney, Netflix, Warner Brothers, etc., what it would cost them in an annual cost versus their annual revenues. So you see what their annual revenues are, and then you got the cost of the revenues. Look, not even 1%, right? Not even 1% of their total overall revenues, all right? And so what this should do is start to give everybody a moment of pause, right? If it's not going to cost them anything at all, if this is just like pocket change for these guys, then why aren't they making the deal? These are smart businessmen. If this is all it's going to cost, just like this tiny fraction, not even 1%, not even 1% of their total revenue, you got to start asking yourself, what's my opponent's objective here? What is it that they are actually trying to accomplish here? Shouldn't that like kind of ring bells in your head? Okay. Shouldn't it kind of start like, it's not going to cost these guys much. And they still saying no. What are y'all trying to achieve with these negotiations? Oh, but they've been telling you this entire time. Let's take it back to the very beginning. This is the day before the strike began. WGA leaders say AMPTP refused to bargain on the guild's core issues. They didn't even want to talk to y'all about it. They refused to even discuss it. They said back then that the president, Meredith Stein, WGA negotiating co-chairs David Goodman and Chris Kaiser, all right, they described how the companies stonewalled the guild from the very beginning of the negotiations on a constellation of proposals that guild members are demanding. I'm just surprised by the conversations we did not have, all right? We've been sitting here for 6 weeks talking to them, and those core proposals were literally ignored. Read the room, all right? They ain't talking to y'all about that. You are not talking their language, all right? And again, it says, and we made it very clear that 98% of our membership is demanding that we fight for something different, blah, blah, blah. They didn't hear all of that, all right? 98%, they were like, hey, man, we got lunch. Are you guys done? All right, we're trying to get up out of here. They completely ignored these dudes from the beginning, all right? Oh, it just all of this stuff, it was falling on deaf ears, right? And again, why? Why weren't these guys listening? What was going on? Again, we covered this. Hollywood Studios' WGA strike endgame is to let the writers go broke before resuming talks in fall. Remember that? They wanted you guys to go completely broke, to be eating cat food, rent due, can't afford it, all right? That's where they wanted the writers. And why is that? Again, they say it in this article. The severe method comes out of the guild's successful battle with the agencies in 2021 over dismantling the lucrative practicing of packaging. They were going back and forth with the talent agents, all right? And the guild won, all right? The guild got the upper hand over this matter regarding packaging. I'm not going to go into details with it, but basically the guild was saying, hey, we're getting screwed with these packaging deals where you guys try to package all of these other, other creative forces all together in one big thing and sell it, but you guys were shortchanging the writers. Nah, we ain't with it, all right? So they went to battle with them, all right? And it says here, the WGA picked off one agency after another until the final holdout backed down, a tactic seen as a warning sign by many in the studio and streamer C-suites, convinced that giving in, as another insider put it, to the writers will result in every contract cycle from the WGA, IATSC, and Teamsters and more ending in a strike. The AMPTP is aiming for the bottom line. They want to break the unions. They don't care right now about losing $500 million, all right? Short-term loss, long-term gain, all right? That's how they see it. We ain't gonna have to worry about negotiating with these cats no more because we're about to put our foot down right here, right now. The line will be drawn here this far, no further, all right? That's why it's important to know what it is that your opponent is trying to get out of this negotiation. And that's why if they're trying to get just complete absolvement of unions, they're trying to really stick it to the unions and cripple the unions, all right? As they said in this article, Warner Brothers, Apple, Netflix, etc. have become determined to break the WGA, as one studio exec blatantly put it, all right? They got the long-term goal in mind. It's not about this little $500 million. They're willing to lose that battle to win the war. And these guys don't understand that. They think that, oh yeah, we got them right where we want them. No, you don't. Because these cats are still like, nah, we ain't budging. Again, go back to how much it was going to cost for these guys to get this thing fixed. Pennies. It wasn't going to cost them anything. It was costing them nothing. And if they say, nah, we good, then you got to start asking really quick, like some good questions. What are the objectives of my opponents? What are the pain points of my opponent? What is it that they are trying to do? I don't think the writers, the WGAs, considered that the studios actually just wanted to cripple them. All right? We just want to take y'all down. We ain't really tripping about the money right now. Not only that, but they're actually saving money. Yeah, because back to the Bill Maher article, like this pretty much says it right here. Maher claimed the streamers had already been looking for a get out of jail card for how much they overspend, noting that the Hollywood strike solved that issue for them as they brought production to a halt. They don't have to spend nothing on it, anything right now. They ain't spending money. They're not putting an output of money. All right? You know, it's like basically streamers have a ton of stuff in stock, so they have no reason to want to settle this strike. They just struck at the wrong time. They have no leverage. Has anyone who's been watching TV recently noticed the difference? Nobody's noticed any difference. All right? It's just been 4 months of the writers taking it in the shorts. What day is that when Netflix runs out of what they have in the warehouse? They got a ton of content. They're going to be all right. The main beast is Netflix. That's the one they're mainly going up against. And Netflix is good. You know, so when you understand that their goal is really just to take down the unions, is to absolutely cripple the union, then when they come back with a counter proposal, okay, it's better than what we had the first time, you take it, and then 3 years from now, you try to get them again with the next negotiation. That's what you do, all right? You start getting your battle plan ready, because now I understand what my opponent is doing. Now I know my opponent doesn't give a damn about, listen, again, they're back to this stuff, this little bitty bits of money. They don't care about this, okay? They're trying to crush us, all right? And with Warner Brothers, this is the other thing. Yeah, back to this Warner Brothers things of them losing, the $500 million in earnings. It's a big number, okay? But understand what their ultimate goal is. They are trying to get that free cash flow going in the other direction. The company raised its free cash flow expectations for the full year to at least $5 billion. It says it expects to exceed $1.7 billion in free cash flow for the third quarter due to Barbie, released in July, as well as incremental impact from strike-related factors. The strike saved them money. The strike is saving these guys money. They good. Yeah, we lost some money there, but you got to understand what your opponent is trying to do. This article was from the Hollywood Reporter. This is before the strike even started, right? Back in February, they had a focus on that strong free cash flow and debt reduction, okay? They are trying to reduce debt. They're trying to pay off a debt. I think they got like $56 billion in debt they got to handle, all right? Zaslav inherited a monster. He's trying to pay that down and get the company profitable or get the company out of debt first. So the earnings, okay, yeah, we're going to lose some on the earnings, all right? We understand that. But if we could get this free cash flow, if we can get $5 billion, that's $5 billion in debt we can pay down. You see? And that's the goal. You got to understand what your opponent is trying to accomplish. So in the interim, yeah, we're going to lose a little bit. But if we can get some money, okay, if we can not pay for all of these strike-related factors, all right, if we can lose some of the content that we were going to put into production, okay, we're going to save that money. That goes into the cash flow. Now that ups our ability to pay off debt. We in the house. We good. All right. But yeah, I thought it was interesting with the Warner Brothers Discovery stock today. All right. On the day that, they make this announcement that they've lost or they're projected to lose $500 million in earnings, that the stock didn't nosedive. All right. It didn't drop like 3, 4, 5%. It actually was up for a good part of the day. All right. Now it started to bottom out as the day. I think people were just selling off and just, starting to bottom out, and it's continued in after hours actually. But I just thought that was interesting that, yeah, with all of that news, the stock kind of stayed steady. It didn't really budge because people said, oh, free cash flow, $5 billion. And that gives these cats an opportunity to kind of reduce their debt, which is what their goal was. All right. So they're achieving some of their goals. Yeah, the earnings isn't good news, but at the same time, it's not destroying the company. You got to know your enemy. You got to know what they're trying to do. You got to know what they're trying to accomplish. Oh, they're just trying to pay off some debt. If their free cash flow is good, they're good. Oh, they're just trying to cripple the unions. They're just trying to destroy the unions. Okay, they're willing to play the long game for that. And that's what it appears to be. Now, I could be 100% wrong about everything that I'm saying. I'm just reading what's being said. I'm looking at the tea leaves. They're not taking this deal. They're not doing this. All right. They're saying no to pennies on the dollar. So it's like, maybe this isn't really the thing that they think it is. Maybe this negotiating team should be thinking about that, They're like, hey, they ain't taking this easy, obvious deal that ain't going to cost them any money at all. What is it that they actually want? Oh, remember they said something about breaking the union and crippling us and destroying us? Okay. Oh, shit. Yeah, they said that. Yeah, maybe we better hurry up and take this deal before they pull it off the table. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all better hurry up and get up on this thing, But anyway, folks, that's just how I read the situation. Maybe I'm wrong. You guys let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. See you next time.